What's up, guys? It's a Sunday afternoon and I'm doing something a little bit different today. I am going to do a little bit of bank and wading fishing here in the James River in the Richmond, Virginia area. That's the city. Downtown right over there, over my shoulder. Some other anglers out there as well. I actually did this for the first time with some buddies last year. Did it a couple times. I did film it, but I didn't end up making a video for the channel about it. But I wanted to mix things up a little bit again today. The river's looking pretty good as far as its level and also the water clarity. So I'm out here just rolling with the one rod today so that I can fish while I'm moving. The last couple times I came out, I would have at least 2 rods. So you had to kind of just fish your way to some, you know, walk to a point and then set the extra rods down and fish from that point. And I want to be able to fish as I'm moving, especially depending on the area that I'm in. So we're just gonna see what we can get into. Do you guys mind if I fish on this side? Holy crap, there's a giant largemouth right there. Well, that's how you freaking start off the trip right there. Let's go, dude. He's sitting right here on the freaking bank. Let's freaking go. Just starting off the freaking trip with a 2-pound, 3-ounce largemouth. Let's freaking go. And there was another one same size right there with him. How cool is that? He was right here on the bank, just under this grass. All right, well, there's not very many better ways to start out a freaking fishing outing than doing that. I'm using, this is the Guggen Squad, it's their jerk bait. It's their smaller one. I can't remember the name of it, but I believe the color is IU. It's kind of a holographic with a bit of a gold back and a little bit of purple on the bottom. I've caught smallmouth on the river using this before, so this has kind of been my go-to jerk bait whenever I'm out here on the river. I'm also doing something I don't normally do, but I'm doing today since I only have one rod with me, and that is throwing a swivel with a quick connect clip on it so that I can swap back and forth between hard baits pretty quickly if I want to. So I don't normally do that, but it's that's what I'm doing today, and hasn't seemed to matter. And I watched him, I saw him come out, or well, the one that was with him come out off the bank for it, and then I watched him go over and kind of look at it, and as soon as I twitched it once, he just came up and grabbed it. And I mean, I'm talking like right there, like I don't know if you could see it, but it was right there, 1.5 feet off the bank and maybe 2 foot of water. That was the coolest thing. It's harder to see now with the sun behind the clouds. There goes my swivel snap. That was the only one of those that I had too. I looked for some more, but I couldn't find any. Probably should go buy some, so when this happens, I'm able to swap out. I do have bigger ones, but I kind of like those smaller ones. There's, especially when I'm trying to throw like a jerk bait or something. Well, I mean, really, almost any hard bait that I'm trying to throw, I don't want the action of it being affected so much by the weight of the swivel and quick release setup. So I had a bunch of those older ones that used to be my grandfather's. I used to use those all the time when I was a kid because, you know, I didn't care about the whole, you know, how it might affect the lure presentation. I just wanted to be able to change stuff whenever I wanted easily. So I use those things all the time. Let's go ahead and put a Ned rig on, why don't we? Let's start with go with California Craw. Picked up a few new packs of these the other day at Cabela's because I had only ever had one bag of Ned rigs, and I hadn't really used them all that much, so I didn't know, didn't know if I was gonna be something that I was gonna be utilizing a lot. It's hard to get those things on there straight, but it's probably straight enough. We'll see. Ah. What? Well, it didn't take long to break off one of these things. I actually took off the reel that I normally have on this rod because it has 30-pound braid on it, and I wanted to go with some lighter weight braid or lighter test braid that would allow me to cast a little bit farther probably with some of this light stuff, but also just be a little bit more of a finesse application. So I've got the Suffix 8-pound nano braid on this reel, and I am throwing an 8-pound leader as well, but that is now the second time. And I had a leader on before, even when I had the swivel on. So that is now twice though that I have broke off, you know, from it getting stuck. And the braid, the 8-pound braid is what's breaking, not the 8-pound fluorocarbon. So I do have 12-pound fluorocarbon in my bag out here with me that I can use as well, but I can't do anything about my my main line. So maybe I need to stick with the 30-pound braid. I mean, I'm throwing in a lot of rocks, but if the braid is what's snapping, I don't think it's snapping above the, you know, 5 or 6 foot long leader. So I don't think it's because it's getting rubbed on rocks or anything like that. So I probably just need to, I guess, throw a little bit stronger braid if I'm gonna be throwing in this area. I don't know. But, you know, that's a risky run when you fish in an area like this where you can't, you know, in my boat, I've got a lot better chance of being able to get the right angle on something where I can get to it and get it unstuck. And that's what I was trying to do with that, but did not quite get, I was working my way around it when it snapped. So I'm gonna be ready to move spots here before too long. Probably work my way down a little bit to my right as looking on the camera, and then go to a totally different spot. Then I'll actually probably get back in my truck and drive across the river too. Are we serious right now? Gosh dang. All right, we're gonna try the weedless Ned. Figured I'd go through some Ned hooks on this outing, but I was hoping I wouldn't go through all of them. So what I don't know is if the hook, especially on that last one, or on any of them honestly, if it is the hook getting stuck or if it is just the head of the, you know, the hook jig head portion getting stuck. But I'm gonna try this this weedless one, see if we can maybe not break one off. And while we're at it, we're gonna just switch up colors for the heck of it. Go green, pumpkin, orange. One more go in this area before we leave this little spillway section. Oh, that didn't take long. First cast with the drop shot. Could be a catfish, but it could not be. Oh no, it was a good bass and it got off. No way, man. That was a freaking good bass. Unreal. Well, let's try and get another one. Man. That sucks so bad. Pretty bummed I missed that last fish on that drop shot. I think it might have been a smallmouth. When it jumped, it looked like a smallmouth. It's kind of hard to tell. Probably about a 3-pound fish though, if I had to guess. Maybe high 2s. So that would have been a really cool fish to have landed. But can't catch everything, unfortunately. All right, I am walking back to my truck now. So I am parked basically right next to that big condo right over there. And I'm gonna go across this bridge and then basically over there on the other side of the river. The river's actually kind of split a little bit here. Like you can see this main channel, but you're actually looking at an island right here. And so there's a whole nother channel on the other side of that island. That's where I'm going to head to now. It's gonna be more, well, less open water, should be. More places to target as far as, you know, rocks that I can see easily and target, you know, throwing directly behind. Basically where fish would be sitting in ambush points waiting for bait to swim by so they can eat it. So that's what I'm going to be heading towards. See what we can get into over there. Quick little detour because I didn't stop to fish this when I parked over here, but this looks like a pretty dang good place to throw a little weightless Cinco around. There might not be anything of any size in here, but I'll give it a shot. There's a little bass down there. You don't want it though. No luck in the tiny clear stream. On to the next spot. There we go. There we go. Got another one on the Ned rig. £1 pound, 2 ounces. Nice. Nice little largemouth. Oh no, he came off. How you come off a Ned rig, bruh? It's about the same size, it looks like. Man. Should have set the hook harder. So we are basically 2 for 4, 50% on landing fish that I've hooked. Not a good ratio. First smallie of the day. And here I was just thinking there might be too much current ripping through here for this to work out very well. I switched up my Ned rig, my Ned worm color. This is the, I think, blue crayfish or crawfish, however you prefer. Literally, I mean, right here, like almost at my feet, he was in this current. Those little smallies are wild, what they will hang out in. Still throwing on a 1/10 ounce Ned head, because that was the only one that I could find that had a weed guard on it, which I think is going to help me a little bit, help me with getting stuck, or hopefully not getting as stuck. So it's obviously flowing or getting carried with the current pretty easily. I don't know where that fish was. I mean, he was literally right here where the current's rolling over that rock and then in front of this one right here. So crazy. We got our average above 50% though with that one. So that's fun. Yeah, I caught one right here a few minutes ago. Fished a little bit more after catching that smallmouth. I think I lost 2 more Ned rigs after that one too. I think I used basically a whole pack of Ned rigs between the two, or Ned hooks rather, between the 2 different sizes I had. Lost at least 5 or 6 probably, but did catch 3 fish, and all of them are bigger than any of the other fish that I have caught while wading, you know, in the James River, in and around the city. So not bad for having gone to a new place that I've never been, and trying to find parking was wild when I transitioned from that first spot to the second spot. The little free parking lot on the south side of the river that I started at was not busy, but everything on the north side in the city you have to pay for, and it's a Sunday afternoon, so there's tons of people out. But it was fun. I was originally gonna try to come out with a couple of my buddies, but they were not able to make it, so I had already packed up and decided that I was going to go out anyway, even if I was just gonna be solo. So had some fun, caught some fish, and that's always a good thing. I do need to not throw 8-pound braid again. That broke off quite a few times where it really shouldn't have. So I either need to just swap back to the reel that's got 30-pound braid, or just spool a reel with some straight fluorocarbon, you know, 12-pound fluorocarbon or something like that will be a lot less likely to just break. But anyway, fun day. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of a mix-up on what I'm doing out on the water. I wasn't actually on the water very much. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that fun stuff. And I will see you